Okay, now 7 o'clock. I'll call the regular meeting of council, Hanwell Council, April 19th, 2023 to order, please. And can I get an approval of the agenda with an amendment?
I move to approve the agenda with the following amendment. 17A should read nomination of Councillor Lee Krause instead of appointment of Councillor Lee Krause.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Item 3, adoption of the minutes. Can I get a motion, please?
I move to adopt the minutes of the March 15, 2023 regular meeting of council.
Have a seconder? Second by Lee.
Just a point of order. I want to clarify, I wasn't here, but I still have to vote in the affirmative and or the negative, right? There's no abstention.
Yep, no.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand, I just want to see,
Okay.
because it seems
So
kind
all
of
the-
weird I have to vote when I wasn't here, but
All those in favor signify.
Okay, wait, before we get to that point, should we also make a note that the absence was actually approved, an approved absence for it? Should we note that in the minutes?
We did, I think we did in the last minutes or the last meeting, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, but it says absent here, it doesn't say actually in the minutes that it was, does it matter, I suppose? I don't know. Because we approved it.
It was an approved absence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I think that was done in the special meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it wasn't this one. Okay. Yeah, so I think it was. Yeah, because I read that one too.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded. Motion carried, thank you. Okay, moving on to item 4, public input inquiries. Do we have any tonight? Not that I'm aware of. Okay, moving on, disclosures, council. All right, moving on to item 6, the reports of fire department from Chief Krause.
Mayor, council, public. Okay, in March, we had 15 run, 10 of which is motor vehicle accidents. People don't learn to drive, but anyhow, it keeps us going. So, any questions?
Okay, no questions for Chief Krause. Okay, can I have a motion to receive the fire report from Chief Krause?
Motion to receive fire department report?
Seconder?
Second.
All those in questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded. Motion carried, thank you. All righty, moving on to item 7, presentation. Thanks, Chief. All right, presentations. We have Marion McIntyre of CRE Maritime Mega here for a presentation tonight.
And I've brought Ron Green along, but most of you seem to know him.
He does get around.
Yeah. So thank you very much for allowing us to be here today. The main purpose of us coming is to provide any answers to questions you have, but we do have a little bit that we wanted to say, before we open the floor to questions, or you can ask the questions as we go along. So Ron and I are both directors of CRAG. It's just easier to say CRAG because nobody has that, can get that big mouthful of Capital Region Association of Geocachers unless you're very, unless you say it just the way that I did. So we're both very avid geocachers, and we're of the persuasion that absolutely everybody should be geocaching. So that's our mission in terms of CRAG, to promote and support geocaching in the greater Fredericton area. We purposely wore our name tags today because when you become a geocacher, it's like a big family, and when you read people's logs, you start to know where they're from and what they specialize in, what their interests are, and so on. So I'm Friendly Forager, and he's Nighthawk 54. So he likes to do things like when new caches are published, he likes to run out and be a first to find kind of guy, for bragging rights. So, has anybody here ever gone out and actually found a cache?
Accidentally, not really.
Oh, no, that doesn't count. you have, I have, yeah, you were telling us, so that's great. And you have too, Lee? Okay, very good. So, I brought along the map, just so that you got an appreciation for how many geocaches there actually are. This map is centered around Hanwell Place. So within 5 kilometers of Hanwell Place, there are 150 caches to be found. And then I did a further inquiry. There are 111 of those that are kid-friendly. So that means a very large proportion, so it's a great family activity. Like I said, I think everybody, it doesn't matter if you're 7 years old, or we have members in Craig, or a member in Craig, he's 92 years old. Yeah, and he only just stopped driving, and so it's because of his eyesight, and so he thought, oh darn, I think my days of looking for peanut butter jars in the woods are over. But anyway, it's just to sort of, and we do have members that are very, very young. So, additionally, in the notes that we had sent you before regarding the benefits of sponsorship of the manga, there's like 1,400 geocaches within 15 kilometers of Hanwell. Now that's a lot of geocaches, all right? So I just wanted to sort of give you an appreciation. So when we were just saying earlier, the little smiley faces are the caches I personally have found. The little green ones with the square, that's an ammo can, because that's the most treasured kind of a container to find out there. I haven't gone looking for those yet. And the ones with the little blue sad face I looked for, but I couldn't find the darn thing. And then the ones with the little stars are the ones that I actually put out. And Ron has also put out, he lives on the Ferguson Road, and I can read the map there. He's put out a whole series of caches on his own road, because there were none there. So, and I just brought along the second page, because like a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And so I won't have to do as much talking if you look at a picture. So the top 3 pictures are actual caches that are hidden in the Hanwell Recreation Park. There are 15 caches hidden there. And those top 3s, it's a Toy Box Treasures series. So this is what the cache container looks like. But more typically, the cache container looks like this. Camo, so it's difficult to find. And typically they always have to have a log sheet in them that you have to sign. This one has it in a nice container to try and keep it watertight. That's the proof that you found it, nothing else. You can go online and say you found it, but if this isn't signed, it's not really found, okay? And then there's, in these kid-friendly caches, you're going to find a little container that has at least the log sheet in it, but it might have some little piece of dollar store things in there. And the rule is, if you take something, you have to put something of equal value in. So it's just a fun kind of thing to do. And a pencil, because darn it, you can't sign a log if you don't have a pencil. So sometimes there's one, and other times there isn't. So that's just meant to be a little bit of an overview as to, well, what are you looking for? Well, it could be a really cool container, like these ones in the recreation park, or it could be something like this.
What's in the smaller one?
Oh, just, no.
I would have to find it that time.
Well, it's, again, the log sheet, but it's not in a cool container, it's in a nice little plastic bag. This comes in handy in the wintertime. These tabs, you wouldn't believe how hard these little bags are to open if you don't have these tabs on them and it's cold. And then somebody, actually, the gentleman who's 92 years old, he made this. And he brought them one day and he said, oh, anybody want these? And I think he made this too, it's a zipper pull. Yeah, it is, it's fun. So, and then the bottom 3 pictures are just to show you the variations in the size and creativity, and they run the gamut. So that's all that I just, in case you really couldn't picture what are you looking for, it could be all kinds of different things in the woods. And the app and the website kind of tells you what size you're looking for and how difficult it is to find, but you don't really know what it is until you get there. still always the element of surprise. So, in terms of the Maritime Mega that is going to be here, it's really over 3 days in July. And in order to be designated a mega event, you have to be able to have over 500 people say that they will attend your event. So we expect over 500 people to come from all over the world. And then, so the main event is on the Saturday. This whole mega, Maritime Mega, is run by volunteers. And the toughest part of doing it really is trying to get the money to do it. Because by rights, you can't really, you're not really supposed to charge for people to come into a mega event, or any event, any geocaching event. When the two events that we propose as satellite events that we're going to hold here, one of them is not really a mega event, but it's in May. And then the one on the 7th of June, or July, the day before the mega, you can't charge people to come. It's supposed to be free, okay? So it's very, very difficult and very expensive. And I can appreciate the fact that $2,500 was a very large ask in these times, and especially since you just went through the whole municipal reform, and there's so many ways that you can spend your money. However, I do firmly believe that it's a golden opportunity to showcase Hanwell, because we're going to do everything in our power to get people to come to this beautiful facility on 2 different occasions prior to the mega, so that they can see what it's like out here. Your slogan of Inspired by Nature is absolutely perfect, because there's some geocachers that love nothing better than to tromp around a trail. There's others who we call them, they like to bushwhack. There's a trail there, but darn if they can find it, and they just go in a straight line. And sometimes that is not the best idea. And I say it's a golden opportunity because the last time a mega was held in the province, it was here in Fredericton, take that back. The last time it was in the province, it was in Moncton. But with this Maritime Mega, what was happening pre-COVID was that we were trying to have one in the Maritimes every second year. And we would rotate between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, because we could never convince PEI. They just didn't have the people. Like I said, it's very difficult to do. It's just volunteers. So the last time it was held in Fredericton was 10 years ago. And then it was held in Nova Scotia. The very first one, the Maritime one, was in Nova Scotia. It came to Fredericton, we stepped up and did it. And then it went to Moncton, and then it went to Truro, and now here we are on the precipice of the next one, because it didn't go for 6 years. We didn't have one. We missed a couple of the 2-year rotations. So it's a given that geocachers, when they travel, they geocache because they get rewarded with digital souvenirs. If you go to a new province, a new country, you get a digital souvenir. And I'm one of those kind of people. I make it a point that when I go somewhere, I say, oh, I gotta look and see if there's a geocache, okay? So it really is a beacon when somebody knows that there's a bunch of geocaches. So these folks that are coming in for the mega, somebody told me today we had a log, somebody's coming from Alaska, but we've got them coming from Germany, lots of people from the States, lots of people from Quebec, Ontario, and then on top of that, the local people all around New Brunswick. They're really, really excited about this event. So I see it as such an opportunity for you folks because, like I said, when they will remember Hanwell. When they come here and they see this beautiful facility and all the caches that are in such close proximity, they will remember Hanwell, and they will come back when we host other events down the road here. Ron and I, will certainly be here for a while. And we really want to make Hanwell the focus of our efforts for a while. You were the first community in that we reached out to as the Capital Region Association geocachers, and we like the relationship. So, that's pretty well what I have to say. The document, I don't know if you have questions, but Ron can piggyback a few things on in terms of what's been happening since we sent out that document, because things are happening here very quickly. And we're pretty excited about those two upcoming events. The first one is May the 28th. So Ron, you want to?
It's okay if I speak?
You want to do it? Yeah, we still have a bit of time, because that fire chief was so quick.
I gotta talk to you. Mayor, councilors, and guests. She talked about, did everybody get that copy of that, what we sent in? Marion sent in a letter and all? Okay. Since she put that out, we do have her date, and we have a little more information. The accessibility event we're having on May 28th. Of course, we're coming to the hall here. That's been set up already. We have Randy Dickinson coming to speak for us, and we're going to put out five Adventure Lab caches out in the park. And then when we're done our little meeting inside here, we want to take people out in the park and assist. We're going to have some geocachers here to assist anybody who wants to go out in the park and find the caches, show them how it works, and show them the accessibility trail, the ability trail. And because as soon as I mentioned the park, Randy said, "Oh yeah, I was up there for the opening of the ability trail," which he's very impressed with as well. He was happy to hear that we're doing accessible caches for everybody, which is a plus. Sometimes when you do adventure labs and things, you might want to put out some kind of a reward for people. So she talked about the virtual rewards. There's also these nice coins that you can get for doing certain kinds of events, certain kinds of caches. You have to get a passport and whatnot. And down the road, I was hoping that maybe we could do something like this in the Hanwell region as well. Because I've lived in the area for 40 years, so plus. And this is the coin we're most proud of, or happy about, is the abolitionist coin. There's been a restriking of that, which is available by getting the Atlantic Canada's Black History caches that are around Fredericton and out in Peniac and several places. Anyway, you get this a passport, and you get the caches, and you get the coin as a reward, which is a lot of cash are going for that coin, because they're very collectible. We're also going to put one. We want to put one more new, not a virtual cache, but a physical cache, and put along the accessibility trail. That if we're allowed to do that, we want to put one that's going to be accessible to anybody that's is in a wheelchair or has any mobility problems. So we want to go have to put it lower and put it out. And I've asked the gentleman to build a birdhouse, and then we put the cache container inside the birdhouse, and then they can come out and follow the directions to get to that birdhouse and find the cache. And we're going to advertise. Sherry and Megan we talked to them a little while ago, a few days ago, about getting the information in the Hanwell Herald, so that this accessibility day, we're going to be, have that well advertised there. Randy said he would send out some information out to his people, that anybody he knows, and he has a lot of contacts, so that would help to get some more people to come to the event as well. And we're hoping that just his name alone will bring a pretty good turnout. I wasn't aware of when the ability trail opened, so was there a pretty big turnout for that?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
Good. And of course, we're advertising on the website and on Facebook. We also do events like breakfast, and we have booked Ivy's for this Sunday actually coming up. We're going to have a geocaching breakfast this Sunday, so I know that's now in the Hanwell, your incorporation for that area, and the Kings Clear Community School, which I attended growing up here. I hear that the wards 5 and 6, that's who's going there? Right now for the children that go to that school? Okay, and we want to get, at breakfast we want to encourage all the cashiers to focus a little more also in the Kings Clear area so we can get some more cashiers out there. I noticed that we're lacking in that area to get to some of the places. Oh, and one of the highlights out there is that Kilburn Cemetery, which is a big plaque there about some of the black community who's lived in the area and are buried in that cemetery. We attended that tourism thing that Franklin put on a little while back, and I know that we learned about, did anybody here attend that event, at the tourism thing they had? Well, they apparently renamed the tourism capital, Franklin Capital Region Tourism, and which encompasses all the outlying areas, and they're going to put out 14 caches relating to trying to get people out to the outer areas, out from the city. They didn't name all the things. I'm aware of, I know they're going to put one at the John Messer's Fiddle out in Harvey, and they're going to put one, there's a big maple leaf somewhere, the largest maple leaf. Anyway, there's a few caches that they mentioned, but they didn't say exactly where they're going to put them in all the communities they're going to put them. So I'm assuming there's 14 they're going to put out. And we're hoping that Hanwell's going to have one of those at least, because they're putting one, trying to get one in all the outlying communities. And I was hoping they might put it out here at
On the new Cenotaph.
Cenotaph, that's it, yeah.
The Obelisk.
Yeah,
Yeah, you say, yeah.
good place to have one, goods inside.
Oh, yeah, or, well, somebody we don't like mounting them on certain things like that, now we're showing disrespect, but we might put them near that somewhere, or something, yeah, we don't want to have people pawing around that
Well,
thing, yeah.
it's
Uh,
great.
And there's, and they called it the Road to the Mega, and I know that from the last Mega, there were still caches that were around up here, actually 271, because I went over there and got that one, and there's one up at the weigh scales, one up at that one, and they're all called Road to the Mega, and they're encouraging people to cache their way into the event. So that if they get close here, and if they see, when you see the name Hanwell, hopefully they might come off the road there and stay on this trail and come down here and do something as well. So for that trail. And we've been active in the area as well. We've done. Are you familiar with the epic that they do over here at the school at Hanwell Park Academy?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in the fall, we were asked to come in and do what we call a geocaching 101. And we went in, and there had grades 6, 7, and 8, I believe, that were invited to do it. And the children picked their own event they want to do. Some chose cooking, some chose basketball, maybe, or road hockey, ball hockey. So there were children all doing different things. And we had 22 kids that came out for that event, the geocaching 101. And we introduced them to caching and took them out in the trails. We broke them up in little groups, and there was some other volunteers, and we took the kids out and went to find caches over a period of 4 weeks. And we got a call from Madame LeBlanc recently to do the same thing again. So we met with her twice already. We had her out, show her what we're doing. And starting Friday, next Friday, we're starting a 4-week program of the same thing again, the geocaching 101. But this time it's going to be grades 3, 4, was 5, and 5 as well. And we'll probably get a good group there, and lots of volunteers as well. We're inviting, this time we asked her to invite some parents along as well to accompany the groups. And, well, actually, I guess we just want to let you know, we are going to be around for a while, even after the Mega is done and over with. That we plan to be in the area. Where I live here. I live here until the whole area here, but after 47 years. But we're going to be, we hope to have an ongoing relationship with Hanwell, and be able to do some things that we've all worked towards us all getting something out of it. So we can all have, build the community up and have more people come out and visit your center as well. So thank you very much for your time, and are there any questions about anything that you've talked about?
No, sounds great. Actually, I do have one.
Sure.
You have 100, and I apologize for taking this, 111 kid-friendly?
Yes.
That means you have 49 that aren't kid-friendly? Who would that be?
You wouldn't want your children to go down too
Oh,
close
so
to
it's
the bank
location,
or
it's
something.
location.
Yeah,
Location, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any, same,
An adult
Same
team,
action.
yeah.
I just had to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
The math, it was
It's a great question.
No,
Okay.
it's a great question, but you put, you label the caches with respect to the difficulty of finding them,
Right.
how well they're camouflaged or hidden,
Right,
and also the terrain you have to go over.
right, so it's adventure and location specific.
Yeah, so we have one here that's a 5-5, you have to rappel down a ravine in the down a cliff, and the cache is halfway down. That's a 5-5. That's not kid
I
friendly.
did that when I was fun. We had two people that were volunteers that were ex-military, and they had all the rigging. It was a blast.
Wow.
Everybody who wanted to go could go, and so we went after breakfast, and he rigged us all up with the harness and all the ropes, and the lowered us over the side. Now the most precarious part is when you go over that edge, you're going backwards over this edge, and it's a funny feeling.
Trust issues?
Trust it. Well, because they're ex-military, and they were so professional. I was so impressed with that, how they were like, really careful. Check their harness, double check this, double check that, and everything was so safe. Even my wife went over. So I thought,
It is a weird feeling though, the first time you're back in your shoulder.
have you done that one?
I've done it
Oh
too,
my
yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Military, it's Wellsford.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, is there a
No,
question?
that's great, I appreciate you, thank
Oh,
you.
well, thank you, Brian.
Thanks for your time, brother.
Thank you, that was great.
Yeah, well, thanks, folks. A very interesting presentation. We certainly appreciate you showing up.
Well, thank you.
We're doing a new park at Gilbo, we'll have to put something in there.
For sure, for sure.
There's one,
I went to many a scout camp there.
Yeah.
there's one at the entrance to Yoho,
Mhm.
and that cement piece in the front,
Oh.
there's one there. There's one up around on the,
Well, there would probably be there's on the edge of the scout, probably you're buying 10 acres, but
oh,
there.
you're doing the park
We're
out
doing
there?
the park, yeah,
Oh, that's good information.
yeah, so there's trails and stuff out in there, and places to put things, and parking lots, and, not this year, but
Yeah, yeah,
by next year, we'll have hopefully some things on the go.
that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So moving on, item 8 is building applicant permits. There are 2.
I'm sorry, I went real quick. Should we leave?
You can, you can.
You're more than welcome, it gets boring.
We won't hold you captive.
You go recommend with me.
If you wanna stay, that's great.
If you want to paint dry, you just.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll go.
Our presentations aren't as insightful as yours was.
Yeah, sorry. All right.
They won't be as
Well, thank you
captivating.
again for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, folks.
Thank
Great.
you very much.
Very good.
Thanks a lot, folks.
Okay, so 2 permits. One is a new house with an attached garage, and the other one is in addition to an existing dwelling. And they're located at Smith Road in Upper Kingston, respectively. Okay, proclamations. We have, obviously this week is National Volunteer Week, so I do have a proclamation to read. Excuse me. Whereas 12.7 million Canadian volunteers give their time to help others, contributing to close to 2 billion volunteer hours per year. And whereas volunteers in the rural community of Hanwell protect our residents, mentor our children, feed our hungry, comfort our lonely, beautify our parks, and fundraise for our charitable organizations. And whereas Hanwell volunteers are young and old, families, workers, retirees, men and women of all ages and backgrounds. And whereas the collective result of the work done in our community by our volunteers makes the rural community of Hanwell a more desirable place to live. And whereas organizations within the community that rely on volunteers include such fundamental organizations as the Upper Kingston Fire Department, Rotary, Meals on Wheels, Scouts and Guides, Rural Community of Hanwell Recreation Committee, Spookfest Easter Extravaganza, Hanwell Sports, and Hanwell Days. Now, therefore, I do proclaim April 16th to the 22nd, 2023 as National Volunteer Week and urge my fellow citizens to recognize the crucial role played by volunteers in our community. Item 10, petitions and delegations. We do not have any. Item 11A, business arising. We have amendments to bylaw 06-2014, a bylaw respecting the bonding of officers and employees, third reading by title in its entirety. and enact it, so we need a motion, please.
I'd like to move that amendments to bylaw 06/2014, a bylaw respecting the bonding of officers and employees, be given its third reading by title in its entirety and enacted. But just a note about that as well, it's normally, since we've already had it posted, we should only have to read the changes, correct?
We didn't post it because it was so small.
Doing the whole thing, yeah.
I'll second.
Any question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you.
Bylaw number 06/2014, a bylaw respecting the bonding of officers and employees.
Thank you.
Enacted pursuant to section 84(1) of the Local Governments Act, SNV 2017, chapter 18, and section 5 of the Surety Bonds Act, RSNV 1973, chapter S-16. Amendments hereto and regulations adopted thereunder, the Council of the Rural Community of Hanwell hereby enacts as follows. 1. Title. This bylaw may be cited as the bonding bylaw. 2. Definition. In this bylaw, bond includes a policy of insurance. 3. There shall be enforced at all time a bond or bonds issued by a company approved by the Lieutenant Governor and Council to provide for the protection of the rural community of Hanwell against any loss of money or other property which the rural community shall sustain through any fraudulent or dishonest acts or acts committed by its officers or employees acting alone or in collusion with others. 4. The bond or bonds provided for in section 3 hereof shall be in the amount of $10,000 or such amount as the council shall deem advisable. 5. For the purposes of this bylaw, the term officers and employees shall be taken to mean the following: the CAO, the clerk, assistant clerk, treasurer, assistant treasurer, office staff, and signing officers as appointed by council. 6. The rural community of Hanwell shall pay the premiums in respect of any bond or bonds issued pursuant to this bylaw, and this bylaw shall come into effect on the date enacted thereupon.
Thank you, Councilor McKenzie. Okay, moving on, item 11B, Regional Aquatic Center update. I believe
I have
Clerk
a little
has an update for us.
I have a little update. The CIO was talking with John Smith, who is the CEO for the Capital Region Service Commission. He's organized a group of CAOs that meet monthly. Stephen Hart, who is the CAO for Fredericton, suggested that any information with respect to the pool should be brought to that meeting prior to being brought to the board of the Capital Region Service Commission. So that's going to start happening. And Brett McCrae, I spoke with Brett McCrae, and there will be no more monies needed from Hanwell in 2023. So that amount we spoke of, it's not necessary. That's my update.
Okay. Moving on to item C, elementary literacy. So I need a motion. We have correspondence, I believe.
No, we don't have correspondence. This would be from the last council meeting. So I was asked to get some further information, and I did. I received a response. They do have children from Kingston Consolidated that are currently attending this program. You remember the program? It's for reading after school. It's an after school program. And they're hoping to bring the same to a Hanwell Academy in the fall. And the reason why they think it's so important is because since the start of the pandemic, literacy has dropped considerably with children. So this program is offered free to the students. So they're just looking for a little help.
Okay, I move to accept the correspondence from elementary literacy with respect to making a donation to support their free after-school reading programs, and authorize and direct the clerk to make the direct donation to elementary literacy in the amount of $250.
Have a seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions, concerns? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried. So you've got notes of that, you're okay? Yep. All right, item 12A, correspondence. We have correspondence from resident concerns, RE dog waste.
Do you just want the motion? You have to read it.
Just to, on this one's just to receive, yeah.
I move to receive the correspondence from a resident with respect to concerns about dog waste not being picked up and disposed of.
I'll second.
Question? All those in favor of receiving the correspondence, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 12B, no correspondence.
I move to receive the correspondence from a resident with respect to offering to place a dog waste bag station and disposal bin on her property, along with concerns about dog waste not being picked up and properly disposed of properly, sorry.
Now, this lady here, she's asking,
I think we need a seconder first and then.
Pardon?
Point of order, I think we need a seconder and then we can discuss.
Correct.
Okay. Second? Questions, concerns?
You were saying?
We just received.
This is a lady that offered to put a dog waste bag station on her property, as long as we provide the station and we provide the bags. She will look after it, keep it full of bags or that type of thing.
So we're just receiving this anyway, so there's no action required basically from what the...
It should be accepted, because there is some action required. We have to get back to her whether we're going to do this or not.
I actually really like this idea. I used to be able to collect the dog poop, was probably why I have a lot of dog bags in front of my driveway, because I used to tell people leave it there until the garbage thing changed, because I just used to throw it in my bin. But I think it'd be a good idea for us to research what it'll cost for 20 bins and to see if there's volunteers out there who like to put one in the property, so it's not just one person. We come up with a number, people want to collect them, if we could spread it out evenly enough, I think it's a good idea. I'd put one in my driveway.
We could just receive this for now and then have discussion on it.
Right, that's right. We could receive this, but still should be something we look into.
Yeah.
And see what the
Yeah,
pricing
just
would be
receiving it.
for some bags.
So I can get back to her and say it was brought forward to council, and council's investigating the cost, and we're going to see if it's
That's what
not
I
just one,
appreciate.
we'll see if we do others.
Yeah.
Council happy with that? She did write me, called me, I got her to write a letter to council, so I will respond to her
But
and
if we
tell her
got
where we're
30, see what the price for 30 is, and then we can vote if we can afford it or not.
at. Okay.
It would make sense to have them in different
Oh, yeah,
subdivisions.
for sure. Councillor Peck.
The last correspondence was received, it's not much different than this. That individual wrote to all of you, is there any official response to her?
I believe.
It doesn't seem fair that we would respond to one and not the other.
Is there an ask in that one?
Simply that council takes steps towards rectifying the excessive dog waste.
Actually, I believe this action here, I do respect what Councillor Peck is saying. Dr. Peck, I'm not sure how to refer to you, Councillor. I believe that this is a step, so when I saw this one coming, this could kind of help maybe alleviate that one too, depending on what the baby steps along the way. So I do believe this may be for both of.
If I may, typically when we receive something, the clerk will acknowledge the receipt of it anyway, and basically
To
say
the
there was a
individual?
mess. To the individual, yeah, typically.
Okay, if that's the
It's-
policy, that's great, I
Yeah,
didn't know
it's
that.
normally only if there's an action required that something further would be moved and we would accept it to do the action that's in the request.
Okay, so it's now been said that she will reply, and I'm
If
happy
she
with
hasn't
that.
already, I'm not sure if anybody, if she's back to the.
Not sure if she will with is, has, or whatever,
Yeah.
but our clerk will look into it, and
Yeah.
if a response is necessary, hasn't come out to her, we'll certainly get one into her. Okay, sorry, Councillor Fox.
Personally, I like this idea as well, but I'm wondering if we should look in to see if this has been successful in other locations. The fact that there's speed limit signs doesn't necessarily mean that people follow the speed limits, and the fact that there's poop bag places, we sometimes see that, but if it can be shown that it's a benefit, then I think that I certainly would support it, but
I think that's something when we're looking into it, we'll touch base with some other municipalities, and I know for sure one that has it is St. Andrews. I go down there frequently during the summer, and I do a lot of walking with my dog. But they have around their parks, they have the bag places where you can pick up a bag, and I haven't noticed any doggy do along their trails. It's really well looked after. Okay, Councillor.
Sorry, I'm just wondering if that would be a municipal responsibility, so that they would have staff looking after those ones if they're around their parks, where this is
Yeah.
not.
Well, this would be a volunteer thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Councillor
Yeah.
McKenzie.
I believe Chris Bamsis has a similar thing with senators with basically it's the staff and work on something like that. But the staff here have access to A, and B, perhaps it'd be something they could ask to see what our municipalities are doing.
Yeah, and we're just looking at putting out the bags, so people can have the bags and dispose of them as they see fit. I don't think we're gonna get into providing disposal receptacles, because then, like I said, if somebody having to look after them, empty them, and it, you know, without staff to do it, relying on folks to do it, it may become problematic. But I think something we can look
It's
into.
an investigation.
Yeah, Councillor Pack?
So there really isn't any plan for a bylaw adjustment for dog control?
If somebody wants to bring one forward
Because there was a rumor that that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's unfortunate.
I'm the chair of the governance committee, I'm not aware of anyone approaching
No,
me
and I'm
specifically
not
about
either,
this.
but I was
Okay.
told.
One at a time, please, yeah, okay, so we got this one in, Councillor McKenzie's, there's not aware of
Just
anything
know
flowing.
as the chair of the committee, I'm not aware of anyone approaching me about a dog
Yeah.
bylaw or anything. So.
Pooper, scooper bylaw, I guess.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, you know, somebody can bring one forward if they want to work it through the governance committee or bring it to the clerk. I think it's something we can, you know, like anything else, if a councillor has a good idea, bring it forward and we'll put it to council and see what we want to do. Councillor Heisler?
So just thinking about this, I guess, kind of out loud. So if other municipalities haven't done it, though, it might be a nice thing to start as a pilot project for Hanwell and be a little bit more innovative
That's it.
to look at. So it's something that we can discuss once we've got numbers and finances and.
Yeah, once we start, you know, we look into it, everybody's going to have some input. We'll have a good frank discussion about it and we'll see where we go. Hopefully we can do this by the next council meeting, and if a motion's going to come forward, we can put it forward and get a start on it before the summer starts.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay, everybody good? Any more questions? Nope? Okay, we'll move on. We have item C,
No, we
correspondence.
didn't,
We didn't vote on
Oh.
this.
We're just
I
receiving,
thought we did receive it.
Didn't vote though.
didn't vote.
we didn't vote, we did motion.
Oh,
and
sorry,
second,
okay.
we
So
voted.
all those in favor of receiving the correspondence, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. I had it ticked in my agenda, but I moved on. Okay, item C, correspondence, Rotary invitation to Century of Service Gala.
I moved to receive correspondence from Rotary Club of Hanwell with respect to the Century of Service Gala being held on May 10th, 2023, which will include honoring two Hanwell recipients, Carl Duivenborden, close, and Paul Porter with the Paul Harris Fellowship.
I'll second that.
Okay, question? Comments, concerns?
Congratulations to the people that get on. This is a good thing.
Okay, all those in favor of receiving the correspondence, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Item 6, correspondence, DTI, RE technical evaluations.
I move to receive the correspondence dated April 6, 2023, from Minister Jeff Carr, Minister of Transportation Infrastructure, attaching copies of the executive summaries for the technical evaluations of routes 640 and 102.
Seconder? All right, questions?
At the moment, I don't have questions because I really don't understand what half this stuff means, so over the next week or month, I'll be looking into it.
Yeah, I think probably best to take it and review it and digest it, then if you have any questions to bring forward, we can bring them forward to DTI. So I think that's probably the best course of action, unless somebody else has another suggestion.
I don't necessarily agree with their findings, but again, we'll have to review it.
They were just receiving it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just had a question. The executive summary doesn't seem to give a whole lot
It's a jive.
of detail, so it did say that we could have the full evaluation. Does that mean that we have to go to their office and look at it, or will they
That's my
actually
understanding.
send us?
says actually, says arrangements can be made for staff to meet with you and review the details of the files upon request. So I think if we want to go over it, we could actually request them to come and meet with us. That's what I read into it. Does everybody else follow that general gist?
I kind of got that we were supposed to go to their
That's my
office from it,
understanding.
which
That's
was.
what I
That's
got.
my understanding.
As long as, I'll be going.
You have, yeah, my understanding is you have to go to their office, their staff, organize it with their staff to come in and view it.
I'll be going. That's why I understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
understood too.
that's what it is.
But I'm just wondering why they couldn't send electronic
This is quite large.
version. Because, well, you can zip it and send it though, or
I don't know, that's their decision, so they've made an offer for anybody who wants to go
so if
do
we
it.
want, so we can personally contact them and go?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Could I-
Any other questions?
Councillor Peck, the bullet on the very back page, second one from the bottom, I find very curious. The effects of the reduced speed limit through Kingsclear First Nation to 70 kilometers per hour has had an impact on the request from residents in the area, requesting similar measures be implemented in other areas along 102. To me, that indicates precedence and an ignoring of rationality. I just want that on the record. Thank you.
Okay, any other, yes, Councillor Heisler.
I agree with Councillor Peck. I read that as well, and it seems that they are ignoring similar measures to be implemented in other areas. It seemed like to me that that's what they were doing.
Yeah, because it looks like they reduced the speed limit through Kingsclear First Nation to 70, and that's the area where their business is, the garage and our service station and convenience store. So they've reduced it to there, and they're saying it had an impact on the requests from residents in the area. Again, I'm not going to guess at what they mean. I think it's a fair question to ask them.
Definitely.
Sure. Yeah, Councillor Fox.
I personally, I think there's enough interest around this table that we should at least request that they come and talk to us about the file here, as opposed to individually each of us having to set up an appointment.
I think where there's that much interest, I think they might prefer that rather than having to have somebody come one day, somebody come another day, and somebody, it would be easier for them to come here with the information and give a presentation to council. I think we can try that route and see what they want to do. I mean, it's their ball game, so they make the rules, right?
Can we
I think
ask
we
them?
can ask. Yeah, Councillor Sutton.
I'm okay with that, but I'm gonna want time to read it and
Oh,
understand
yeah.
it, so I can articulate my questions
For
and
sure.
formulate a plan.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
I'm
they-
absolutely in agreement,
Yeah, and
but I have to read it. So
if they're going to come out, they're not going to come out tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to take, again, they've got to arrange it and find people to do it. It'll take, I suspect it won't be done immediately, it'll take a while. But we could try that route if that's what council wants. I mean, is that everybody in favor of that?
Yes.
Councillor Sutton?
Yes, no, I'm in
Oh,
favor.
yeah, okay. So that's what we'll get the clerk to do that, to contact DTI and see if they're willing to come out. If not, to see how they want to make arrangements for anybody that wants to go see, to go see. Fair enough?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we have item E.
Vote on the motion.
Oh, sorry. Motion to receive we had a motion to receive it. And we had a seconder. So all those in favor of receiving the correspondence signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded. Thank you, motion carried. All right, moving on to item E, memo, local governments and local government reform, RE stats.
I move to receive the correspondence dated April 12, 2023 from Jennifer Wilkins, Assistant Deputy Minister of Local Government and Local Governance Reform, advising that they will be updating the census profiles of the new communities and will share them with us in the coming months once completed.
I'll second it.
Questions? Comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded. Motion carried, thank you. Correspondence, Capital Area Minor Football Association.
I move to accept the correspondence from Capital Area Minor Football Association with respect to making a donation to help offset their operational costs, and authorize and direct the clerk to make a direct donation to Capital Area Minor Football Association in the amount of $250.
Seconder?
I'll second.
Questions, discussion? Councillor
Yeah,
Sutton.
I don't know if you know the answer right off, but how much have we donated so far and how much is left in our budget?
I'm not sure,
No,
but
that's fair.
I'm sure there's we haven't made very many donations here, so I'm sure there's quite a bit.
The 2,500 that we did for
That's
the
not
crowd
included,
is
that's not
part of this
included,
one?
no. Because that was a sponsorship that was budgeted for last year.
Okay, any other questions?
The only thing I think we'll have to do is create a policy, sorry, I apologize, Chair.
Sure, no, I'm asking for questions, no?
I think we're gonna have to create a policy of some sort, how we're gonna be doing this, because next is gonna be the hockey, it's gonna be. I absolutely don't mind doing it, but at some point there has to be some type of guideline that's gonna be specific, and I think the governance committee and our team people have to come up with some. These donation requests seem to be getting, tonight we did $500. And we have a $5,000 budget, and Christmas and kids, and if somebody gets hurt, it can eat in quick. So I just want to see if, as we go forward, well, I'll be voting in the positive for this. I just want to see if we would have some interest in coming up with a policy that.
Councillor McKenzie?
Just for note, can you maybe just send me an email about that, just to get it on the radar, and then we'll start investigation with it. Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay, Councillor Hutchler.
My only question was, for the 250, they're asking for sponsorship, gold, silver, bronze. Where does that put us?
So it stops at, sponsorship is 500. That's
Okay.
the short, you can make a donation, or you can do the sponsorship. So the lowest sponsorship is 500.
Okay, so we're just making a donation, we're not doing the sponsorship, okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, call for the question. All those favor, for the request, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Okay. Moving on. Okay, item 13, meetings and special events, mayor's report. I believe everybody's got a copy
No,
of that.
I forgot to print it off.
Oops. And the mayor did have it in on time.
Yeah, well, it was set in the packet.
It was in the.
It says in the package.
Oh, okay,
We already.
Yeah.
okay, great.
I move to receive the mayor's report as presented.
Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Okay, committee reports, item 14, Age Friendly did not meet. Communications, would Councillor Peck have anything?
Just what's there.
Just what's there? Okay. Economic Development did not meet, Emergency Measures did not meet. Finance, we have a finance note.
I think I didn't print it. Can I see it? I didn't print it off for myself. So I sent this to you later this afternoon. Did everybody get a chance to read it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You didn't get a chance to read it?
Would you like mine? Sure.
So this is just a summary of last night, it's
The
not
meeting.
the specific things that you'll have to address in the special meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion to receive the Finance Committee report?
Motion to receive the finance committee report.
Seconder?
I'll second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. All right, moving on to 16. Oh, sorry.
No.
Where am I? Did not meet, did not. The Matiquet Community Liaison Committee. And I believe Councillor Peck has a report. Has everybody received that? Okay, can I get a motion to receive the report?
I move to receive the Mactaquac Community Liaison Committee report dated April 12th, 2023.
Second.
Seconder? Okay, questions? Comments? All good? All those in favor of receiving the MD Power Community Liaison Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. And Governance and Policies did not meet, and Parks and Recreation did not meet. So, we've got the CAO Treasurer's Report, and I'm gonna turn it over to our Assistant Clerk.
I didn't write the report.
The clerk.
Clerk.
Point of order.
Yeah, I'm the clerk.
Clerk, sorry.
I did write
my
the
apologies.
report, but I provided you with the report. So I'm assuming you all read it. There are a couple of motions that have to be done, or one motion that has to be done to receive two invoices. Any questions? I can maybe answer them.
Okay, we'll get a motion at first then can I get a motion to receive it?
Oh, you want me to read that?
Thanks.
I move to authorize and
A motion to receive, sorry.
No,
No, we actually,
You have to actually move to accept.
and you have to do the motion for the first
Yeah.
amendment.
Pardon?
You do the motion to accept the, yeah.
Yeah, the first one. I move to authorize the director clerk to pay the following invoices. MC Advisory Code of Conduct Investigation, February services in the amount of $14,421, including HST. Want to both at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. And MC Advisory Code of Conduct Investigation, March services in the amount of $20,182.50, including HST.
Seconder.
Second.
Okay, questions, comments? Councillor Pack?
I have two of them. I'd just like to voice this, to have on record that it would be wonderful to have our new Parks and Rec partner on our team attend council. If that hasn't been understood, now I'm making sure it's on the record for our next meeting. The second question I have is, and I don't know if I can ask it if it's appropriate or not, but do we anticipate additional service costs related to the code of conduct investigation for future months?
Yeah, I would expect so. This is just from MC Advisory, that's the investigator. And there will be an invoice coming in from legal, from the lawyer that was involved. And we're just anxiously awaiting to see what that amount could be. Okay, any other questions, concerns?
I have a quick question about the accommodation tax levy.
Yep.
So it says it was received for the month of February.
Yeah.
So do we get, is it every month?
I think it's at the end of every month,
Okay.
they send us a check for the amount that they've collected.
So every month. So do we have any idea of how much that is going to be? Like,
It varies, like, I know, I think the first month, it might have been a little more than that. I guess it just depends on how many people stay. I bet you the summer months it'll be huge amounts because there'll be so many more people staying at the hotel. Yeah.
So this is
It's hard to
quite-
gauge. It's a really hard. I mean, the CEO did do she did do a budgeted possible revenue that we might get from it, but you don't know.
But we haven't had it for very long.
No, like 2 months.
So we don't really know. Okay.
No.
I was just trying to figure it out a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion for the authorization and seconded to authorize the clerk, direct the clerk to pay these amounts for the invoices. Any other questions? All those in favor of paying the invoices, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded, motion carried, thank you. And now we'll need a motion to accept the CAO Treasurer's Report.
I move to accept the CAO Treasurer's Report dated April 2023 as presented.
I'll second.
Any questions?
One question, yeah, so this will be posted online somewhere, right?
Yep.
So I think- yeah, so,
Yeah, they get posted every month.
yeah, okay.
Any other questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded. Thank you, motion carried. Okay, older unfinished business, the Little Recreation Building, we have no update. Rural Plan Progress Report. No
Nope, we
update?
didn't get one.
Yeah.
Well, I can just speak to that in a minute. I did ask Lonnie about that, and I think we should get in touch with him again. I think they're kind of waiting on a committee. I talked to him about a month ago. I can talk to him again if you want.
I can message Lonnie.
Yes, okay, because we have Prac again next week, and I think they're kind of, that was the next step, is to
Okay.
go into that.
Any other comments? Okay. 17A, new business. We need a motion to nominate Councillor Lee Kraus for the UMB Protective Services Committee.
I move to nominate Councillor Lee Kraus to represent Hanwell on the UMNB Protective Services Committee.
I'll second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried. Item B is on the CAMA, Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators, and I believe they sent us some information out on whether we want to join them or not, with their amounts, their fees for membership and that type of thing. Has everybody looked at that? So I think Councillor Pack.
Do we have any information, it might have been here, but I I didn't think there was, about how many of our fellow communities subscribe to this and
I'm not sure.
We've talked about it before from council, and we see no advantage of joining this. We're already members of the UMMB.
This is for the municipal, this is for the actual administrators though, but we are part of AMA and B.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So we're not part of this one, but we never did see that if there was any benefit of us joining that. We're active members of the municipal association club. So this is just for information purposes. I don't think we're gonna act on it. If somebody wants to read it over and have questions on it, we can look at it at the next meeting. Fair enough?
Sure.
Okay, the Brunswick Human Rights Award. This is basically if anybody who has somebody to nominate, then go ahead and nominate. So it's kind of self-explanatory. Okay, moving on, item D, emergency notification systems with Voyer Alert. So this is, our CEO was talking about at their last meeting, where Sentinel is being disbanded, not going to be offering that service anymore. This Voyer alerting system is the new system that's coming along and basically doing what Sentinel did, but doing it a whole lot bigger and seems to be a whole lot better. So we had the two options, whether to just have the regular membership or the all-inclusive membership, and the price, not a whole lot of difference in price. It was $1,300, but they certainly offer a whole lot more on the full membership. So it's just, I guess, just wherever council wants to go.
I move to authorize and direct the clerk to move forward with switching the current alert system from Sentinel to Voyant option B, which is the all-inclusive subscription in the amount of $4,800 plus HSD.
Second.
Any questions, concerns, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Now we have a Director of Recreation and Parks. This is Jared Crossman. He's going to be commencing Monday, April the 24th, which is just around the corner. So if we can get a motion, please.
I move that we appoint Jared Crossman as the Director of Recreation and Parks commencing Monday, April 24th, 2020.
Seconder.
I'll second.
Questions?
One
comments? Yes?
An easy one too. Is that the title is gonna have it as Recreation and Parks, not Parks and Recreation?
That was the title that was on the job description
Okay,
that
yeah.
you guys were provided with.
So I guess it's Recreation
I
Park?
guess it's Recreation and Parks.
Fair enough. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those contrary minded? Motion carried. I think Jason will be a wonderful benefit to Hanwell.
Take care.
Jared.
What did I say, Jared?
She said Jason.
Jason. My apologies to Jared. I'll apologize to him when I see him. But I think I've met the young fella, and he's keen, and he's got lots of experience. He's just what Hanwell needs as a rec director. There's no doubt about that. Alrighty, upcoming activities. We have the Zoomers Tuesdays and Thursdays until March 30th at 12 p.m. And Hanwell Sports registration is currently open. And the second annual Hanwell Golf Tournament scheduled for May the 27th, and we're moving forward with registrations. I believe we have 8, and I know of 2 more that are coming in, so it looks like we'll have at least 10, but we still have some time to go. Well, I'm here. Does anybody know there was a group over on the Loop, the Eddington Loop, or the Eddington Road, that had a golf tournament there late last year? Does anybody know anybody that belongs to that outfit? Yeah, I've been asking 2 questions to see if I can find out, to see, make sure they're aware of this one, see if they want to certainly join us. So anyway, I'll continue on to see. It shouldn't be that difficult to find out.
Quick question.
Sure.
There is a craft show going on this weekend, right? April 22nd?
Yes.
It's 10 to 4?
Yep.
Just wanted to put...
10 to 3
10 to 3? Just wanted to put that out there.
Where is it?
here.
Here?
All right. So that brings us to item 19, closed session. We're good?
There's nothing there.
Nothing there as far as I know. Unless something come up. All right, so the date, time, and location of our next meeting would be, regular council meeting, council chambers, May the 17th, at 7 PM.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, thank you. Very good. Thank you, council.